fairy is probably the perfect metaphor for where I'm at right now, creatively on my YouTube channel. Sort of, I'm in between two different places.
I think for a while I've been treating my videos like finished products, when maybe that's not necessarily the case. It might be closer to being like a contact sheet, just a record of what I saw, what I felt, and what I'm trying to figure out.
I've got black and white film in here at the moment. Tri-X 400 in here right now. Very fitting for this moody weather. And I think that brings me to intentionality in photography in general. You know, when I shoot black and white, what I learned, I guess, from my London trip, when I shot mostly black and white, was monochrome is an entirely different medium than color photography. You have to choose to use black and white for a reason. A film stock like Ilford, HP5, or Tri-X, I have to shoot with intent. Not to just shoot black and white because it looks good or looks cool, because it's such an abstract medium in a way. You're not telling the full story when you show a scene in black and white, you know? You can't tell the full story.
All crew members, please stand by for docking, slip 5.
And yeah, I spent the whole ferry ride talking to the camera because I couldn't figure out where I wanted to stand. All right.
Shooting black and white film today was intentional on my part. That decision happened before I even left the house, and once I made it, everything downstream followed it. But when I convert a photo to black and white after the fact, that's a different process. Sometimes it's, a practical decision, too many distracting colors, or I just can't get the colors right. Sometimes stripping color altogether can fix the issue for me. The results can look similar either way, but the intent behind them is not. Neither is wrong. I just think they can lead to different kinds of photographs. The same can be said about mistakes and accidents. A lot of the time, a photo might not come out the way I want it to. It's either out of focus, I underexpose it terribly, or maybe someone just photobombs me. If I notice any of those things right away, and I still choose to keep the photo, that's a decision I made. I'm basically saying the image works, despite the issue, or maybe even because of it. But then, of course, there are other times where maybe I don't notice something right away. And so I have a choice to make. I can either acknowledge it was a mistake and that I'm choosing to keep it, or I can tell myself it was intentional all along. That distinction matters to me. Keeping a mistake means you noticed it and you chose it. Reframing an accident means you noticed it later and you decided it still worked. And I think that's where sometimes people can confuse habit with style, when a choice gets explained after the fact, instead of being made in the moment. Not everything needs intention to be meaningful. But not everything meaningful needs attention added to it later. Intention for me doesn't just start and end at photography, it also shows up in my sound design. And for a long time, I treated music like a checkbox, something that I added once the video was already finished. I'd scroll, settle on something that was fine, and tell myself it didn't matter that much. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Music can make or break the story. And today's sponsor, MusicBed, is what helped shift that mindset for me. What I really appreciate about MusicBed is that it feels intentional from the start. It isn't just some endless library of options. It's an actual curated roster of real artists who are chosen because their music actually carries emotional weight. So now, instead of asking myself, what song can I use? I'm asking myself an even better question. What song matches the feeling I want this story to have? And that changes the way I edit. It changes the pacing, and it changes how the story feels. So if you're like a creator like myself, and you care about tone, emotion, and visual storytelling, MusicBed offers a 14-day free trial so you can try it out for yourself. The link is in the description. Thank you to MusicBed for sponsoring today's video.
It's definitely conditions like these that I find the city becomes the most interesting, during the winter, at least. The elements, yeah, wouldn't have it any other way. Should have brought my gloves. You know, it's funny. I had a whole script written out for this video, and I decided to just fully scrap it and go off script and just talk to a camera like this. I'd be lying if I didn't mention how nerve-wracking this is for me, which is why I don't do it all that much. But I'm trying to, force myself, or I guess not force myself, but I think it's a muscle that you have to train, and just the more you do it, the more you care less about what people are possibly thinking. This is all a mental thing. Like, I doubt any of this matters at the end of the day, but it's more for myself to feel more comfortable. I'm so used to control and controlling what gets put out there. And maybe I have been putting too much control into how my thoughts are going through this filter, usually, when I'm writing out what I want to say, and when I can edit. And I can still edit out things talking like this, but I feel it's more of a flow. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. You want to see more vlogging like this? It's freaking miserable.
There is a difference between intention and control, and I think I've been confusing the two. In photography, I thought intention meant deciding everything before you pressed the shutter. But in reality, it's really just the choice to pay attention. Because intention happens much earlier than we think it does. It's not in the edit, not in our Instagram caption, not in the explanation we give someone when they ask what a photo is about. It's really in the moment that you decide to stop walking or keep going. In the second you choose to raise your camera to your eye or decide not to. Most of those decisions never really show up in the final photo, but they shape everything that follows. So maybe intention isn't about knowing exactly where you're going. Maybe it's just deciding to get on the boat.